bit. Again, the taller of the two in the gold trunks is the challenger, Johnny De La Rosa. Rocky Lockridge, the champion in the red trunks. Rocky just keeps staring in on De La Rosa. I got, from my conversations with the two before the fight, a feeling of supreme confidence on Lockridge's part and a feeling of, I can win. I'm pretty sure I can win on De La Rosa's part. There's a fine difference.
Yeah, and of course you have to have that confidence. You're in there one-on-one. This is not a team sport. It's an individual sport. They're out there now just the two men in the ring. They have 22 square foot of ring out there, and that's all they have. And they have to have that confidence or they don't belong in the ring.
Well, De La Rosa has only lost twice in his professional career. Lockridge has lost 5 times. Lockridge has had not only the 5 losses, but he's had a couple of losses that he didn't think were losses. Their scoring didn't go the way that he and others, not just he and his people, but he and others thought it was supposed to. A lot of instruction from the sideline you can hear in our crowd mic.
Lockridge won the World Junior Lightweight title in England and on an 11th round knockout over Barry Michael, and this is his first defense of that title.
That's right. He had this is his second championship on the pro level, but it's the first defense of the IBF title. As he bores inside. He Lockridge first went for a championship, the WBA Featherweight title, back on October 4th of 1980, but lost to Eusebio Pedroza in 15, and that was a somewhat controversial decision. And then he lost the USBA Featherweight title when he was defeated by Juan Laporte in Las Vegas on August 22nd, 81. That was a knockout, however. That was not...
It's interesting.
No dispute on that.
It's interesting, Greg, to note that of the few, just a few losses that Lockridge has had in the ring, they're all to what were formerly great fighters. I mean, he didn't lose to any Hammond Eggers. You know, he lost to some variety strong fighters, all champions. Well, one of them.
He did. He lost to Pedroza a second time. That was again for the championship. That one was dead even on the cards until the final round, 15th round. So he has hung in there and beaten some. We will be back with round number 2 of our scheduled 15-round title fight. The duel in the desert continues after these words from Budweiser. Second round just getting underway. Before we get any further along, we'd better talk a little bit about the scoring used in this IBF championship fight. 10-point must system, mandatory 8 count, but no knockdown rule. That's up to the discretion of the official. 3 knockdowns. Now, even if that was considered a knockdown, again, it's at the discretion of the official. It may have been that he just leaned over, lost his balance. But it's not a factor in this fight. That's the point. Probably good timing for that to happen. Bell cannot save a boxer unless it's the last round of the bout.
Very interesting thing about the scoring that fans might find interesting at home as they watch the fight is that after each round, the judges' cards are picked up and they are turned over to the commissioner. So there can be no question later on that perhaps on a tight fight they might go back and change around. They can't do that now. Every round is registered and it's logged, and then at the end of the fight they're all totaled up.
This is the second round. The champion is in the red trunks. That is Rocky Lockridge, 41-5, out of New Jersey, native of Tacoma, Washington. And Johnny De La Rosa from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, who has been in the United States since 1981 and now fights out of Detroit, the Kronk stable. I don't think anybody's having any difficulty hearing the instructions. The high-pitched instructions in the background.
That was a good right uppercut that was landed then by De La Rosa, but it didn't seem to stop the charge of Lockridge.
A wrestling match will have to be broken up. clinching in this round. And the warning for the admonishment, perhaps, from Al Munoz to not to grab behind the neck.
It's tough on the, when you have a taller guy and a smaller guy, it's pretty tough on the little guy to get in there. He has to get in closer. He can't hit.
Lockridge looks like he has a cut on the bridge of the nose. And wide-eyed is Johnny De La Rosa as he takes a look at it. That's it. That's the end of round number 2. We'll start for 15. The duel in the desert between Rocky Lockridge and Johnny De La Rosa.
De La Rosa obviously is using that nose as a target. Now he came out jabbing for the nose. He wants to open the cut and see if he can't get the fight stopped. They are fighting for a world championship. And there goes Lockridge after him.
A lot of holds, a lot of wrestling moves in this first couple of rounds, or last couple of rounds. And again, as they get over on the rope, this time escape by De La Rosa. De La Rosa would like to sit in our chairs someday. He says he'd kind of like to maybe be a sports announcer. Lockridge, he wants to be on the hit record charts. He's quite a musician.
He also has a deal. Lou Dove has made Lockridge a deal that when his boxing days are over, he'll become a trainer for their boxing stable.
He's got a lot of options.
You'd think from the way he fights, you notice a similarity in style to Marvin Hagler. He tries to get in there and mix it up. He's a brawler. He wants to get in close, and he wants to brawl inside.
That was leather on leather. You heard the pop. Again, the clinch. As a result of one of you are a brawler, you will get inside. You'll have a lot of those.
De La Rosa trying to stay away. He's trying to use that boxing skill and that reach. But Lockridge has got him in a corner now, and he's going to try to keep him there.
And again, remembering what we had of the scouting report of the two before the bout, De La Rosa, in most fights, has preferred to go inside himself, even though he does have the longer reach. Lockridge is taking the fight to him, and he is not allowing him to make the first move in.
Well, Lockridge's style, because of his size and giving away height, reminds me to some extent of a middleweight from years ago. You probably remember Greg, named Gene Fulmer out of Utah. Yeah. Fulmer is, he's only about 5'6", 5'6.5", but he was fighting 160 pounders, and they were 5'11", 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet, and he had to do just what Lockridge is trying to do, get in there where he can reach him.
Flurry of exchange with both sides. Lockridge does stay inside. Goes. That was a right by De La Rosa, and the champion was down. But he's all right, apparently. Just going to get his breath. He gets 8, and then he can start again. He's got that cut over the nose, but again, it is not. They didn't start fighting before the bell rung because no one could hear it. But this round is underway. Lockridge, he took another one, and that staggered him slightly. De La Rosa sees an opening, and he's going after it. And Lockridge is the man with his back to the wall. But he comes back with a strong left. De La Rosa's wide open eyes. Lockridge misses, stumbles, and then pushes De La Rosa into the corner. Another strong left that made some contact to the side of Lockridge's face. Good combination. Follow-up by De La Rosa and a quick right jab. De La Rosa Rosa taking it to the champion in this round. Official Alaminos breaks him. That one caught De La Rosa in the neck area and staggered him briefly. And now he is stunned a little on the ring. And he gets another strong right. De La Rosa spun out of it, but he was hit hard. De La Rosa is staggering on the ropes. De La Rosa is really putting it to Lockridge. Lockridge, the champion, is in trouble in this round, and De La Rosa certainly knows it.
I think Lockridge is showing a great deal of courage and stamina. He's taken quite a beating in the last 2 rounds, but he's hanging in there, and he's even taking the fight to De La Rosa.
He's trying to take it back to him right now on the ropes, but De La Rosa comes out with a strong right. What a wild round of action. Round 4. It's scheduled for 15. And if it continues at this pace, this will be a fight not to be forgotten.
Good right hand by Lockridge, but it didn't seem to do much to De La Rosa.
The duel in the desert continues. After these words from Budweiser. To begin, this was in the preceding round as De La Rosa took charge with a hard overhand right that caught the champion behind the neck. Meanwhile, we're back to live action as the fight continues.
Yeah, there were 2 good rounds in a row for De La Rosa, and we have to see now if Lockridge can shake off the effects of it. It looks like he has.
5th round. Well, he needed that round to end. He really did. It was not going his direction at all, speaking of the champion, Rocky Lockridge. And he does look like he has bounced back.
He hasn't been able, he's been able to get inside, but hasn't been able to hurt De La Rosa when he got inside. And so far, that's the story of the fight. De La Rosa has landed the move.
And a follow-up as the round ends. The referee is telling the timekeeper that he can't hit the bell either. He can't hear it. Let's go into the corner now. Hopefully you're able to pick out some of that. Here's Lockridge in the last round.
And again, he's making the fight. He's moving in. He landed a good right, and then he went around the head with another right, and it didn't seem to affect La Rosa. The interesting thing about Rocky Lockridge is when you talk to him outside the ring, he sounds so much like Marvin Hagler. You ask him, what do you want most out of boxing? He says, respect. He doesn't say money. He doesn't say a championship. He says, I want respect. And Hagler, who fought in the kind of in the shadow of Leonard for so many years, always said the same thing.
Well, Rocky Lockridge certainly has to have a great deal of respect for what he has accomplished. And now he's got to defend it every time that title is on the line. Good right to De La Rosa and a good left comeback. Lockridge apparently wants to take advantage of that strong round he had in round number 5.
You got to remember, you're looking at a world champion and the #1 contender in the world, so you're going to see a pretty even fight.
And you're going to see stretches where one guy does look better than the other for a stretch, but the difference is on this level, they've got enough in the heart to gut it up and come back and pull it out one way or the other. Now, at this this moment, De La Rosa looks a little tired.
De La Rosa seems to be marking time now, and Lockridge is, picking up some points that he's lost.
And now De La Rosa, for a moment, in the eyes, looked as though he was going to come back out on the attack, but Lockridge would not let him.
When you get these matches between the taller guy and the smaller guy, they always have a lot of drama connected with it. Remember back to the Sandy Sadler-Willie Pep fights for the featherweight title. Always a lot of drama and action. They just never stop punching.
This is the 6th. De La Rosa took one there while he's on the ropes. Lockridge boring in, and he has continued to bore in this whole round. Now Lockridge tries to fight his way out of the corner. Lockridge, or rather De La Rosa does. Lockridge will not let him.
Lockridge seems to be blocking and slipping more punches now than he was previously.
Oh, a good right to the side of De La Rosa's head by Lockridge, and he stands with a funny look on his face. Could he have been dazed? He may very well have been. We are nearing the end of round 15, or round 6. 15 seconds left, we should say. De La Rosa has a funny look on his face right now.
I think De La Rosa is a little surprised that Lockridge is still standing.
Well, we'll return to the Tucson Community Center in Tucson, Arizona, right after this. Round number 7 getting underway. This from round 6. Now we're back live to round 7. Round 6 appeared to be a Lockridge round. De La Rosa, after having the dominating 4th round, has run into a buzzsaw in the champion the last 2 rounds.
Now, I think De La Rosa's corner has told him that he's losing command of the fight. And before the round even started, he was out at mid-ring waiting for Lockridge. They told him, you get back out there and you take charge again.
Now, this round has just begun. We're only 35 seconds into it. The fatigue is cumulative, however, and it appears that De La Rosa is a little the worse for wear. Lockridge continues to just bore in. Another guy, of course, who fought with that style in the heavyweight division was Joe Frazier, and he was quite often shorter than the people he was going against, so he would bore in.
That's right. He and Ernie Shavers and a few others, they had to get in close. They were always shorter than the guy they were fighting.
Left to the side of the head, just a glancing blow, didn't do any apparent damage to De La Rosa.
De La Rosa hasn't appeared to be hurt in the fight at all, and as the fight goes on, that knockdown early in the fight could become more important.
He's taken a few here, but he's trying to fight right back. He does not appear to have been hurt. I agree with you totally, Bernie, but he is starting to show the cumulative effects of fatigue. He's trying to fight out of this, but he really isn't throwing as good a punch. The punches don't have quite the snap they had earlier, speaking of De La Rosa.
In fact, Lockridge appears to be a little tired at the moment.
Well, they both should be. It's just going to be a question of to which degree it affects the fighter the most. This is the 7th, so we're not quite to the scheduled halfway mark. Round number 7. De La Rosa backed up into the Lockridge corner, tries to fight out as we near the end of this one. He does get out.
Well, he was pulling the old rope-a-dope there for a while. He used the ropes for support. Boy, the crowd's really into this.
They really are. particularly one lady. He's not going to do it. He's not going to let you beat him. You got to take it to him. So that was the instruction given by Emmanuel Stewart to De La Rosa, and well, he took a couple of them to Lockridge early. And again, that goes back to the point you made earlier, Bernie, about him perhaps seeing the momentum go the wrong direction. And the corner, of course, can see that too, and they made sure they reminded him.
De La Rosa is landing a lot of left hands he wasn't landing earlier.
Protest from the De La Rosa corner that he was the person warned.
The referee may have told the judges to take a point away from De La Rosa.
And the argument is that he's not hooking. This is, of course, speaking from the De La Rosa side. Instead, it is that Lockridge is actually sticking his arm under the armpit and making it appear as he's being pulled.
Lockridge's corner has done a great job on the cut on the bridge of the nose.
Really has. It has not been a problem since the first round that he had it.
In fact, if he keeps hitting himself in the nose, he's liable to open the cut himself.
This one is scheduled for 15. We are, well, just past the halfway point.
Oh, good right hand.
That one jerked the head.
Another good right hand. That's 3 good right hands landed by Lockridge.
De La Rosa again, though, continues to not, well, in fact, he's getting a little cocky now. That can sometimes be a big mistake. He's saying, you can't hurt me, you can't hurt me, I'm going to give you a target. Little showbiz now.
He's doing what Sugar Ray Leonard did with
He made a mistake. He got hit with that right.
He was doing what Sugar Ray did with Roberto Duran in their rematch.
Round 8 coming to a close. You're watching the duel in the desert, and it will continue from Tucson after these words from Budweiser. A couple of those right hands that Bernie pointed out in the last round that landed severely to De La Rosa, but again, he did not show any apparent effects. We are now back to live action.
And De La Rosa, again, seems to be coming out. He's been told by his corner to get out there, and he's getting out in the middle of the ring before the bell rings.
They'll have to break that one up. 9th round. The winner of this will be the IBF Junior Lightweight Champion. Rocky Lockridge in the red trunks already owns that title.
Yes, and they're certainly earning their paychecks for tonight, and the champion Lockridge is getting something over $60,000 guarantee, and the challenger's up around $35,000 guarantee for this fight. This fight was originally scheduled to be fought in London, but the promoters over there ran into problems, and promoter Gil Mariscal was able to get the fight down here in Tucson, Arizona.
Well, a great cornerstone for the young Tucson Boxing Association as they try to build up. Certainly one that will be remembered, because this, regardless of how it ends, has been a sparkler. Overhand right from Lockridge. affected De La Rosa a little bit. He had a couple little flicking rights that really didn't do much damage at all.
The momentum for sure moved back and forth. In the third and fourth rounds, it was all De La Rosa. Then from the fifth round on and right through to this point, the champion Lockridge seems to be pretty much setting the pace of the fight.
I thought the first 2 rounds were probably Lockridge's by your basic 10-9, maybe even a 10-10, maybe even a draw. But then after that, you're right, it went to De La Rosa for just a couple, and then Lockridge has really come out. And here he's showing his skills once again.
Another thing to bear in mind if you're watching this closely and scoring at home is that you have to go out and beat a champion to take his title. You go out and you get a draw with the champion, then the champion keeps his crown. You got to go out and win that title.
The champion with an overhand right that glanced off the side of the head. And again, the boxers break. Again and see what's being talked about. As you could tell, not much. Lou Duva mostly has to be concerned with patchwork, and really didn't have too much strategy to talk. He's got to make sure his man hangs together.
Now, they did use an ice pack on Lockridge's nose, trying to keep the swelling down so it doesn't interfere with his vision, doesn't start bleeding too easily.
And he's got the petroleum jelly Vaseline on the face, which is lighten the shade just a little bit as we get set. Here's round number 10.
And there's so much of that Vaseline on Lockridge, I'm kind of surprised that the referee didn't make some move towards it.
He's got a big glob of it right on the bridge of the nose. And of course that'll get on the gloves and it'll... There's a good right. Another good right. De La Rosa is just trying to hang in here to get himself regrouped.
Corner, and Emmanuel Stewart, who's trained a lot of champions, is trying to shout some advice. But I don't think De La Rosa can hear him.
That right by the champion just glanced off the side of the head. De La Rosa is having trouble making solid contact. Again, he's backed into the same corner, his own corner. Emmanuel Stewart just watching. We have a very, very tired fighter. They both are very tired. De La Rosa is more expressive with his eyes and his face. Lockridge is just all business. And again, back into the corner. De La Rosa trying to slip away. In his own corner once again. We've got about a minute 10 to go in this round, the 10th.
This has been about the most quiet round of the fight so far. And yet you're still getting good action.
A lot of punches being thrown, but none of them are hitting. Lockridge backs De La Rosa up into the Lockridge corner. That one hit, the left hit, the right hits. The uppercut hits, the right hits again. This is going to be over. I would imagine this will be it. The count is being given, and I would not be surprised if this doesn't do it, but we'll wait and see.
His eyes appear to be clear.
Yep, so it may be all right. Nope,
no,
he's not.
That's it.
The champion is still the champion, Rocky Lockridge.